Hello, and welcome to the Art of Yoga Project's YouTube channel. My name is Holly Saita, and today's class will be focused on how we balance the two sides of us that exist. We have the good person and the bad person, or we have the fun or the lazy, and so on and so forth. We're going to talk about how we can kind of notice the difference and respect the two of them, and how we feed each side of us, and how we can't have the light without the shadow, all of that, so on and so forth. So let's get right into it. We'll do a little warm-up, and we're going to see if we can start standing. So finding yourselves standing. I have today my yoga mat. I have my blanket, if you decide to have a blanket for your knees, a pillow or a bolster, and one or two blocks. Whatever you do or do not have access to, that's okay. I also have an eye pillow for final relaxation. Whatever it is that you have access to, that's fine, but really all you need is yourself and your mat, or wherever you're at for this practice. Finding yourself arriving, let's stand up nice and tall. Just feel some centering, so imagine yourself wobbling side to side maybe at first, and maybe forwards and backwards, and then finding that center, right? So wobbling side to side, knowing we may feel pulled one direction and the other, but eventually finding that stillness in the center with the ankles aligned with the knees and the knees aligned with the hips underneath our shoulders, and our head resting nice and softly here above our shoulders. Let's take a moment. We're going to do a little bit of tense and releasing exercise. So what I want us to do is inhale, tense your fist up, and then exhale, release your grip. Inhale, tense your fists, breathing movement, and exhale, release. Bringing movement and breath together. Inhale, tense the fists, exhale, release palms. And then inhale, shrug your shoulders up. And then exhale, release your shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale, feel that tenseness. Feel the heat and the strength. And then exhale, relax and feel yourself let go. Feel all of that dissipate, melt away. Inhale, once more, shrugging the shoulders up. And then exhale, letting them shrug away from the ears. Now inhale, reach your right arm up. See if you can really flex every muscle in your right arm, and then exhale, let your arm go. Inhale, reach your left arm up, squeeze and reach through your left palm. Feel all the strength of your left arm. And then exhale, like it weighs 1,000,000 pounds, let it go. Inhale, we'll bring the right leg in. Hug it in nice and close, a little balance, and then exhale, let it go. Inhale, maybe just pick up your left or your right leg if you don't want to hold on to it with your hands on your knee. And then exhale like it weighs a ton, let it go. We'll do that one more with the limbs, feeling the difference between the two. Inhale, reach right arm up. And then exhale, let it drop down. Inhale your left arm up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, right leg lifts. Maybe you just flex your toes. Maybe you squeeze your knee. Maybe you're just kind of picking it up off the ground, and then exhale, let it go. Inhale, left leg up. Tense all your left leg muscles. Maybe you feel tense in your hips. Sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, let it go. Go ahead and stand up nice and tall. Know that we can move and do these tense and release exercises through the whole body if you choose. We'll end here with a little bit of maybe squeezing your legs and squeezing your fists and squeezing your whole body, and maybe even your face like you just sucked on a sour lemon or something, and then exhale, let it go. We'll do that twice more. So feel it. Maybe feel like you're sucking in this energy all the way in the backs of your glutes. They even come together. Feel your legs tense up. Feel your palms and your arms and your shoulders and your face. And then exhale, let it go. Okay, once more. Inhale, tense everything from the feet up to the legs and the hips and the wrists and the shoulders and the arms in. Exhale, maybe even the face. Let it go. Nice. So tense and release is a good way for us to note that difference that we have. We can be really tense and anxious, or we can also be relaxed. We have those two different parts of us. Now that we've done a little warm up, we're going to see if we can just do a little check-in. So find yourself back seated. And I'm going to share a little story for a moment. So thinking about one day this Cherokee woman was speaking to her grandson, and her grandson asked about the two wolves, story of the two wolves. So the grandmother told her that there was one wolf who was brave and courageous and nice and healthy and happy. There was another wolf who was fearful and anxious and sad and mean. And the little boy asked the grandmother what happened when these two wolves came together, and which one survived, what happened. And the grandmother said, well, whichever one survives is the one that you choose to feed. Whichever one is better is the one you choose to feed. Whichever one will last longer is the one you choose to feed. So maybe if you're alone, pondering upon the story of the two wolves for a moment, or if you're with a group of people, you can maybe talk about the story and share your name and how you're feeling. Maybe just checking in silently to yourself if you're alone. Or if you're with other people, sharing with them what would be your good wolf. What tributes would your good wolf have if we had a good wolf and a bad wolf? What tributes do you see your good wolf having? I see my good wolf having happiness. I see my good wolf being outgoing and friendly and helpful and open and loving. Those are some qualities of my good wolf. Maybe your good wolf would have some similar traits. Sharing that with yourself or with the people around you, whichever you choose to do. And then we're going to get into our practice. So finding our movement practice today, and we're going to begin standing at the top of our mats. So we're going to move in and out of a few things, postures, noting that anything that I offer is just simply an offering, it's an invitation, but you want to guide yourself through this practice today as well. So listening to your body, listening to your breath as you move, and honoring whatever feels nice for you. Setting up your blocks at the front of your mat if you have them. If you don't, just standing here at the top of your mat. Finding yourself again in that nice tall, somewhere between the two, right? We're going to find a little bit of activation in the knees and the thighs to help ourselves stand up nice and tall. Again, but maybe relax your shoulders. Find yourself in a mountain posture. Noticing that our bodies have two different sides, and honoring those two different sides of us that do exist, finding the balance between the two as we stand still, and maybe noticing your breath for a moment, even in a simple posture like mountain pose. Just stand still. The mountain is just there, but really it's got so much wisdom, and there's so many things happening on that mountain. But remaining still for a few breaths before we reach our arms up and grow our tall mountain to the sky or to the ceiling, wherever you're at. Inhale, reach your arms up, and then we're going to exhale, guide our hearts forward and find ourselves in a forward fold. So that means just resting your head down, dangling it. And then maybe you find your blocks if you need them. You just have them set up here for your hands. If you can't reach the floor, that's okay. Just let your arms hang. And then inhale, rise up nice and tall spine. We're going to do just half of a sun salutation. Inhale, tall. Exhale, this time guide your heart forward and your palms out like you're diving, like a swan forward. Bring your hands maybe to blocks or to your shins. Keep your legs straight this time. And find some activation. So feeling nice and strong here. Inhale, flatten your back. Maybe sink more weight into your toes so that way your hips aren't back, they're forward. Stretch behind your legs. And then exhale, let it go. Release all that energy. Let that all spill out over your head. And then inhale, reach up nice and tall. Let's do one more half sun salutation. Sun salutations are to help bring heat into the body. So if you notice yourself is warming up, that's good. That's what we're here. Bringing is heat into the body. Exhale, bring forward your heart. Move with your breath and your movements, guiding by your breath. Inhale, flatten your back. Find your hands on your blocks. Find your hands on your shins. Lean your weight a little forward. Stretch in the back, long spine, like you could put a glass of water on your back. And then exhale, spill the glass of water out. Inhale, rise all the way up nice and tall. Reach the palms up and bring together the two forces that are within you into one full being. Exhale, let your palms place down, back down by your side. We're going to add to the sun salutation. Begin to just move with your breath. Move with the two sides of you that are there. Inhale. And then exhale, forward. Hands again come to the blocks or to the floor. Step one of your legs back. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the back foot to about a 45-degree angle. The front foot is in a straight line, almost heel to heel. Press your feet down into the floor and reach your palms up. We find a warrior one pose. So not too wide of a stance. Your hips are faced towards the front of your mat. If you had eyes on your hips, they'd be faced forward. Reach your arms up. Press out and back through the back edge of your foot. Find that warrior one. How can you feel strong? How can you feel fierce and ready for anything to come your way? And this warrior one, open to the horizons around you. Maybe open up and reach back. Exhale, hands down to the floor, framing your foot. Readjust your back foot. Reach your right foot back to meet your left. And pause in a plank, bringing heat, feeling that heat. Building that heat and that fire that exists in all of us. Press your heels back. Have your hips in line with your shoulders. This is a plank, so we don't want to be like this, not yet. We don't want to be like this, not yet. Find that in between. And then exhale, bring yourself down to your belly. Tuck your toes behind you. Reach your heart forward. Lift your hips up and find an upward dog. Look over your left shoulder. Look over your right shoulder. And then tuck your toes again behind you and find your first downward facing dog. Stretching out all four of your limbs, pedaling out your feet. And then look up towards your palms. Take a nice slow stroll up to your hands. Inhale, flatten your backs again, and then exhale, bring your head down like a heavy piece of fruit ripening on a tree, about ready to fall off. Yes, no, maybe so, and then reach your arms up, grow your mountain nice and tall. Reach into potential, reach and breathe into the lungs, exhale, bring it all back down. Recentering before we do the other side. Inhale, again, arms up. You might find fluidity now with these movements, so one breath, one movement, exhale, forward fold. Let me just guide you, but also let your breath guide you. Now let your right foot come back, setting up the same way. Back foot 45-degree angle. Important to keep left knee over left ankle. We don't want it here, we don't want it here. We want to stay strong. Feel strong in your legs, nice and fierce here in your warrior one. Hips aimed forward. Hips and arms aimed forward. Stretching out the back of our leg. Feeling strong in our left leg. Reach up and out of the feet towards the fingertips. Open up to potential reaching and opening your horizons. Exhale, hands to the floor. Left leg back. Important to have your palms beneath your shoulders. Pause and then exhale down. Inhale, rise upward facing dog. Lift your hips up. And then exhale, roll over your feet. Come back. Beautiful. One full sun salutation on one side. We'll do two more and just hopefully be able to speed it up a little bit. Paddle your feet out. Note that child's pose is always an option if you need to take a break and just relax here in your child's pose. With your hips back all the way, that is totally okay. We'll take a pause here for a moment just to kind of recollect before moving into another sun salutation. And then again, honoring that light and that shadow that exists within all of us, that light and that dark. How can we bring the two of them together? Now come back up and rise into your downward facing dog. This time look up towards your hands, and maybe to add a little fun and we hop up to the front. Beautiful. Or just walk. Sweep your arms up. Inhale, nice tall mountain. Exhale, hands down by the side. Mountain posture. One breath, one movement. Inhale, rise, arms up. This time look up and back. Maybe reach back. Hips slightly forward. Exhale, guide your heart forward over your legs. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway. So moving a little faster now. We know where we're going. Hands on blocks, hands on the floor. Left leg back. Inhale, right. Rise all the way up. Right leg forward. Exhale, palms down. Feeling the cardiovascular work bring you through this, so feeling your heart maybe pump. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, guide yourself down. Inhale, rise up. Stretch the belly, look up, look back. And then exhale up, roll up and back over your feet. Relax here. Inhale, look forward, hop, step, skip, float up to the front. And sweep your arms up nice and tall. Mountain posture, relax your hands down. Doing the other side, noting that the other side may feel totally different than this side. Inhale, rise up. And maybe reach back, exhale. And come forward. Noting that this side might feel different. Exhale, halfway lift, and that's okay. Hands come down, reach your right foot back. We have different sides to us, different parts of us. We are totally asymmetrical beings. So reaching, feeling this side. Exhale, hands come down, framing your front foot, step left leg back. Hover in your plank for a breath or two. And then exhale, knees, belly down. Rise up, forward facing dog. Opening, and then closing off, downward facing dog. Taking your time in your last one, doing it exactly how you would choose to do it. How would yourself guide yourself through this? Maybe close your eyes for this one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let your hands come down. Maybe for this last one, letting yourself guide yourself with your eyes closed, knowing you're your best teacher. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, come forward, reach your hearts forward, guide it over your legs, hands down to the floor or to the shins or to the block. Inhale, rise up halfway. Hands down, reach your left leg back, rise up. One breath, one movement. Inhale, inviting that heat in, knowing that that heat will feel good and be balanced with that coolness we'll feel later. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down, knowing that there is that yin and yang to everything, stretching the belly. And then exhale, coming back, honoring and noticing whatever. This practice can help us make peace between both sides of us. Inhale, come back up forward. Inhale, halfway up. Noticing that lightness and also recognizing the darkness too. Forward fold, rise all the way up. Last side, sun salutation. Rising, falling the arms down. Inhale, reach up when we're ready. Last salutation, coming forward all the way, breathing into every movement, finding yourself flat back, hands on shins or blocks. Exhale, hands down to frame the front foot, right leg steps back. Inhale, root through the feet, rise through the palms. Warrior one. Even warriors have different sides to them as well. Bring your right and left hand down to frame your front foot. Pause. Let's create a little more heat here. Maybe hover all the way down this time. If you want a little challenge, bring yourself forward and hover your elbows in. Straight body all the way down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then rise up and come back. Nice. We'll pause in that child's posture for a moment before we move into a different sort of salutation. So the sun salutation is meant to help us with building heat, honoring that more vigorous, faster, flowier side of things. But now we want to kind of tune into a more lunar, cool, still part of us. But we're going to move through a moon salutation as we do that. Come forward, Find yourselves in your downward facing dog. One more breath, let your head hang for a moment, receiving all that energy. Look up towards your palms and come up towards the hands. Rise on up and let your arms come down. Completing our sun salutation and moving into a moon salutation now. Let's start in a different stance. So instead of starting in our mountain posture, we're going to go ahead and start here start our more moon-like salutation. So starting here in our star. So star pose is meant to reach out nice and bright through all of our limbs. Our toes are pointed out about a 45-degree angle. Bend your knees a little bit and then your elbows a little bit. Bring yourself into what we call goddess. So the goddess is what we want to represent the moon and its energy, its nurtureness that exists. Inhale, reach up, brighten your star. Exhale, sit in your goddess, feeling your glutes. Feel your shoulders back instead of poking your butt out. Let's go ahead and bring some strength to the legs as we do this. Shoulders up above the hips. Bend the elbows. Maybe challenge yourself by reaching one ankle up and then reaching the other ankle up, and then maybe both ankles. Just a little challenge, whatever feels nice for you. Let's straighten up. All of these are just options. Now point your left toe towards the front of the mat. Point your back right toes 45-degree angle and find out a warrior two. Warrior two is a little different, a little more open here, a little more expansive in the chest. Your legs are going to be wider than they would be in warrior one. Sit low. And since this is a moon salutation, we're going to go ahead and add in a half moon pose, which will help us with balance. So you can grab your block for this fun part of the salutation. We're just going each pose first before we do it breath by breath. Bring your left block and place it about a foot in front of you, in front of your left foot. And then let's see if we've all maybe felt like a cartwheel before. We're going to see if we can keep our bodies open. And then find a little balance, gaze forward towards our left fingertips. And then gaze our left fingertips down to that block and then kick our right foot up. Stay open and find some balance here in our half moon. And you want to reach through all of your limbs. Left toes pointing towards your block. Left palm resting on your block. It's okay if you fall. You can come back to your warrior two or just come back. Find that resiliency, building that part of us, that patient, nurturing side of us. Come back to center. Inhale your arms up. And let's find a forward fold, this time with our hands on our hips and hinging forward like so. Bring your hands beneath your shoulders. Find a forward fold. Maybe point your toes forward now instead of off the side. And then let your head dangle. Inhale, rise your arms up, find your star again, and then exhale into your goddess. Inhale, bright star. Let's do all of that on the other side. So bring your left foot at a diagonal, point your right toes back towards the back side of your mat. We're facing the opposite direction now. Remembering we have those two different sides of us. This might feel a little different than the other, and that's okay. Bend your right knee and find yourself arriving your warrior two on the opposite side. In your warrior two position, can you relax your shoulders away from your ears and maybe tuck your tailbone a little bit? How can we feel comfort and ease even during this fierceness and this tough time? Maybe the pose in it isn't super easy. That's okay. Finding that balance, practicing through it will all help us build that resiliency that we need. Resilience helps us bounce back. So let's go ahead and work on resiliency and focus here as we do a little bit of a balancing act. Place your block now right in front of your right foot, about a foot in front of your right foot. And then we're going to do that cartwheel again. So we're cartwheeling our arms. And let's find our left foot coming up, keeping your body open to the side of your mat. Right palm comes to the block. Right toes pointing forward. Flex your toes, even of your back foot, and shine bright like a half moon here. And then exhale, guide yourself back to your warrior two. And then inhale, back to your star. Exhale, hands come to the waist. Let's forward fold once more. Hands below the head. Let's walk our hands over to the left. Let's walk our hands over to the right. And just finding a little bit of movement side to side. However far it feels nice for you, kind of feeling like a nimble ninja here. Coming back to center. Let's move through our moon salutation once more. Inhale, rise, hands on the hips if you need to come up. Find your star. This version of moon salutation, remember, trying to embody that nice stillness and lunar side of you. Even though we're still working hard, we're not moving super fast, right? Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel into your half moon with or without your block. Inhale. Exhale, come down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to the hips, forward fold. And inhale, rise on up when we're ready, finding the other side, warrior two. Inhale, settle and reach. Exhale, relax. Next inhale is going to bring you into that half moon as we kick up the left leg. Finding that balance and strength and focus, but also feeling that lunar side of us all. And then exhale, left leg down. Inhale, right arm up. Shine bright. And then exhale, forward fold with the hands again. Beautiful. We'll just sort of come to a couple more moon salutations. So coming up with the hands now to the hips. Inhale, rise the arms up. And we'll find a nice combination of the two. So we'll combine the sun and the moon salutation, bringing it all to one full circle. Find your mountain pose when you're ready. Let's just do a twist and tap for a moment, just to kind of reset. So feeling your feet a little wide, twist and tapping, hands on the shoulders, on the hips. Oh, maybe you flutter the lips a little bit here, licking the lips. So we do different breathing techniques to help us relax a little more. And this one can be good if you're ever feeling like a tired horse. I like to call it horse breath or butterfly breath. Lick your lips and exhale. You may even make some fluttering noises. And just letting any of that go. Also being kind of playful and silly with your practice can help bring it all back. Bring your uniqueness to the practice. All right, let's combine the two of them. Two forces, the sun salutation with the moon salutation. Remembering to use both sides of ourselves equally. Inhales, reach your arms up. Exhale, maybe look back a little bit. And come forward when we're ready. Forward fold, hands on the blocks, hands on the mat, whatever you choose. Go ahead and step your left leg back. Warrior one, inhale. Hips forward at first, and then exhale, warrior two, hips out. You can scoot your back foot back a little bit. Inhale here, reach, be fierce through the arms. Exhale, focus and balance. Left leg up, right arm down, half moon. And coming back with that foot, inhale, rise. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, forward fold into your halfway fold. Hands to the shins. Go ahead and when you're ready, bring your hands down. Step yourself back for one last plank flow through upward facing dog. And then through your downward facing dog, finding playfulness, making these movements unique, balancing oneself, feminine and masculine, happy, sad, all those things that exist. Let's look up towards the palms, hop, step, skip, up, look up, reach up. Nice and tall, mountain. Exhale, hands down. Let's do that last half, combining the two. Inhale, rise your arms up. Reach up, look back, maybe, and then exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back this time. Reach your palms up, warrior one at first. Open yourself to the horizon. And then warrior two, finding that focus, finding that stillness. Over the left palm, we find our gaze. Then find some playfulness. Inhale, reach up, left palm down, right leg up. Half moon. And then exhale, right leg down. Nice, sweep ourselves on up forward. And then exhale, relax the palms. Beautiful. Completing our salutation practice, we'll come down to a seat. We'll find ourselves with our props out of the way. Coming down to a seat, we'll heel toe the feet apart. Sit low, maybe bring your hands to the floor first and find a little squat. With or without your block if you want. You can sit on your block for just a moment. Take a pause and a yogi squat. Or removing your block, coming down to your butt, hands behind you. And we'll set up for our final relaxation for a moment. So again, remembering that final relaxation is the most important part of our practice to be super comfortable. So anything you need to help support your comfort, maybe it's a bolster beneath your knees. Maybe it's an eye pillow over your face to help eliminate distractions. The eye pillow can also help just calm the nervous system. Maybe you have aromatherapy or something that you'd like to incorporate. Anything that works for you, pausing, getting yourself nice and set up, or just finding yourself in this moment right now to relax in our final relaxation. Relaxing down with the head on a pillow or on your blanket. And again, if you're in stillness, alone, or even with others, can you imagine yourself alone, even if you're not, on your mat? And whenever you're with yourself, noticing how we have two sides of us. We're totally not symmetrical, and that's okay. What tributes would your good wolf have? What tributes would your bad wolf have? How can you bring the two of these tributes together, creating this beautiful whole person? Deciding what tributes of those might be, whatever it might be, and how can you feed? How can you choose to feed whichever one it is that you want to feed, whichever side of you it is that you want to flourish, knowing that you can choose that for yourself. You can choose where to direct your attention. So feeding that good wolf, but still remembering the bad. Acknowledging all of its existence within and without of you, within us and in the world surrounding us. Notice your breath come back to a regular pace, more natural pace. Feeling the warmth or the coolness of your breath in and out of your nostrils or your mouth. Maybe feeling any sort of movement in the room or wherever you're at of the air surrounding you. Noticing the sounds that surround you. Take these last moments to yourself, and if you'd like to pause the class and rest for a moment longer, that's okay. Otherwise, removing your props, stretching your arms above your head, wiggling your toes and your fingers and your nose, Go ahead and rest on your side. Finding yourself on your side, your head in your arms or your hands. Relaxing for a moment before assisting yourself up to a seat. If you choose to take this time to journal about your good and bad wolf, you can feel free to do that. Or if you'd like to close out with a checkout question with whoever you're with, doing that is welcome. Also, it's nice to share with each other our experiences, and also just with ourselves. Journaling can be really nice to share. Otherwise, we'll complete class now, and sitting up nice and tall together, wherever you're at, finding this same pose, perhaps a different perspective, seated. Go ahead and we'll inhale, we'll rise our arms up to the sky or to the ceiling. Bring your hands together and float them down the center of your body. I hope you all have peace in your minds, peace in your words, and peace in your hearts. The light in you sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.